What's up, everybody? I am back with another movie review to semi and Mother's Day review month with Despicable Me 3. I already reviewed 2 to set up technically Father's Day review month. Decided to shoot it, or at least review it back to back so I can clear them out. Don't expect to review Minions, and I don't know if I'll review Despicable Me 4. Who knows? That seems a little bit more possible than the Minions. But I definitely just wanted to clear up the first 3 films, because I reviewed the first Despicable Me movie in my earliest movie reviews on the channel on Father's Day review month. So, Despicable Me 3. Before I continue, please like the video, share the video, follow me in the links in the description below, such as my YouTube and Twitch channel, Talkative Carl. So, yeah. This movie stars, once again, Steve Carell as Gru, Kristen Wiig as Lucy, Miranda Cosgrove as Margot, Dana Geyer as Edith, Jenny Slate takes over... Nev Sherrill takes over as the voice of Agnes when Elsie Fisher, walked away, possibly because she got a little older, so she couldn't do that cutesy girl voice no more. Got Jenny Slate as Valerie De Vinci, Trey Parker as Balthazar Bratt, the newest villain of the film, Julie Andrews as Gru's mother. And also we get introduced to Drew, the long lost twin brother of Gru. We'll get into that in a second. I can't believe this made $1 billion at the freaking box office. Golly. But let's check out the trailer of Despicable Me 3.
Down, turn around, show me what you got. You a pow pow juggernaut, take it up a notch. Oh my God, wow, take 'em out. Let me take a shot. I'ma sit down, get a drink, let you work it out. Step back.
Wow, illumination!
Heist music.
It's some kind of monster.
Wait, that's not a monster. That's a man wearing shoulder pads. There's only one supervillain whose fashion sense is quite that dated. Balthazar Bratt. I want every agent on the scene immediately.
Agents Grucy are closing fast.
Yes. Wait, what? What did you call us?
Grucy, Gru and Lucy mushed together. Grucy.
I like it, but not a lot. I don't like it. He's getting away!
That's what he thinks. Get ready!
Get ready for...
Hello, Gru.
Oh, what about that? What? Oh, girls! Dance fight! Who's there?
This is not over.
Happy birthday, dear Dan! Happy birthday!
To you.
Who's bad?
Okay. I gotta admit, we were watching the trailer. It really set the mood for the film. Yeah, so this new villain, Balthazar Brat, former Hollywood child star, turned supervillain after 3 seasons of his show Evil Brat was canceled because he hit puberty, so he couldn't play off that cutesy, Dennis the Menace vibe anymore. But he couldn't let it go. So he turned to villainy to get revenge on Hollywood for canceling his show. So he ends up trying to steal a diamond, but Gru and Lucy, who works for the AVL, goes after him. But even though they managed to acquire the diamond, Balthazar ends up getting away. So not only is Ramsbottom pretty much being forced to retire, but the new head of the AVL, this weird looking chick, ends up firing Gru and Lucy because she viewed them as incompetent, even though they did at the very least manage to get what was stolen. So, glass half full kind of thing. But she doesn't see it that way, fires them. So now they coming home telling the kids that, they'll try to find new line of work. And of course, Dr. Firo ain't in this because Russell Brand is, since this film, at least around the time of making this film, is going through like a lot of like controversy to the point where it's like, I don't think anybody want to hire him, and I don't even think that he wants to work in Hollywood at this point anymore. He's doing his own podcast. I just thought, let you know about that scenario. Anywho, while feeling down in the dumps, Gru meets this butler who lets her know that his long lost brother wants to reconnect after finding out his existence. And as soon as discovered that his mom had been lying to him his whole life, thinking he's like an only child, turns out that she hooked up with Gru and Drew's father, who was known as the Bald Terror, probably a villain in like the 60s, because there's a portrait of him that kind of looks like something like a James Bond villain. So they, for some weird reason, which no parent realistic would ever do, split the children apart. Drew went with the dad, Gru went with the mom, and lived totally different lives. Ironically, Gru went up to become a notable supervillain, while Drew, even though he was raised by one of the best supervillains, excuse me, didn't have the aptitude necessary to be like one of the greats. So both parents looked at the respective sons that they were raising as inept in one way, shape, or form. Ironically, Gru ends up growing up into something that the father probably would have been more proud of, while Drew ended up growing up into being something that the mom would probably be a little bit more proud of. The parents are kind of weird and toxic as hell. But the family goes to meet Drew, who lives a very, very affluent life. He has flowing blonde hair, which, immediately Gru feels insecure about. But they eventually start bonding. I like the moment where they try to change clothes, thinking they fooling everybody, but it's just, I don't know. It's maybe not many people find that funny, that scene funny, but I find it kind of funny on that, one level. Not like laugh out loud, busting a gut funny, but it was pretty, funny in a charming way. So Drew asked Gru to help him learn how to become a better villain. Even though Gru was like, no, I left that part of me behind. I'm not doing that. But then he realized, okay, I can use all this resources left behind by their father in order to recapture the diamond after Balthazar recaptured it in Paris. He decides, okay, I can use this opportunity to get our jobs back, but I'm not going to tell my brother this. So it's the live reveal kind of thing, but luckily it doesn't last too freaking long. But as Gru and Drew team up to try to infiltrate Balthazar's headquarters, Gru sees firsthand that Drew doesn't have the aptitude at all for villainy. He's very like bumbly, but he tries to keep him tagging along. But they end up stealing the diamond. And Balthazar comes back trying to reclaim it. Meanwhile, Lucy is spending some mother-daughter time with the girls. And, of course, Margot, a little bit hesitant on being that close with Lucy, given the fact that, because she grew up in the orphanage and she's the primary one to look after her sisters, she's hesitant on trusting. Maybe it has something to do with the lady running the orphanage being like so mean. Ironically voiced by Kristen Wiig too. She's a little hesitant on just listening to a female authority figure or something, or just probably authority figures for the most part. But she listens to Gru. So maybe it's just like a mother thing. She tells Lucy that she has to be able to, tell her sisters no every once in a while. And I think this is kind of springing up. This quote unquote advice is coming from the fact that Margot spent most of her childhood looking after her sisters. So she was, and it's kind of like a thing, forcing the eldest child, who's also still a child, to be an adult too quickly. So she feels like she can be in a position to tell, like, hey, you should tell them no, but don't tell me no. It's like she forgets that she's still a child, but she has this air of I won't say experience, but just life kind of dealt her a bad hand, so she feels like she doesn't need that kind of like quote unquote motherly advice or discipline, because life kind of hindered her a fair amount of discipline as it is. So she kind of have like a bit of a hard exterior. But she eventually kind of warms up to Lucy pretty quick after she convinces her to hang out with this lonely boy who is getting picked to by other girls to eat his plate of cheese. So just so he doesn't feel bad, Lucy encourages Margot to go accept the cheese. So he's look a little sad. Come on, don't you want to make him feel better? But then the little boy comes knocking on Drew's door looking for Margot. Don't know how they found the address. To try to ask her out on a date, but she's not interested. So Lucy steps in and it's like, sorry, little boy, she's not interested. But there's always somebody out there for you. Blah blah blah. And then not like a minute later, here comes the boy with his mom. He comes bursting at the door, making demands, and Margot get to witness firsthand that the mama bear of Lucy comes out, telling her like, step off. Don't you dare come threatening my kids. I will end you. But this kind of sets in motion that, at least for Margot, that, I can trust you because you stood up for me, because, like, I never had that, especially not from another so-called mother figure. Then you also see that, she, as soon as she thought Agnes and Edith was in danger at this bar they snuck into, she comes busted in and mollywops half the freaking bar, thinking the girls were in danger, but they weren't, because the bartender tells this folktale about a unicorn in the woods that, of course, Agnes, don't know why it doesn't show a little bit of age growth with these kids, because Agnes shouldn't be this obsessed with unicorns anymore, but she is. So she believes in the tall tale and decides to find in the woods supposedly where a unicorn should be. All she finds is a one-horned goat, which is coincidence upon a coincidence. And so she brings the thing home, and it's up to Gru after a argument with his brother, when it's revealed that he's planning on using a diamond to get him and his wife's jobs back, and chewed him out. It's like, no wonder our father thought you didn't have what it takes. So they chewed each other out. But he has to break it to Agnes, like, no, this is just a goat. But she quickly kind of like, like, not only accepted it, but it's like, hey, even better. So it's like that little plot line is over. Didn't think it was needed, personally, because it seems like it's derailing the entire film, personally, with this unicorn subplot. But then Lucy gets hogtied and left in a closet, and Balthazar takes up her appearance, kidnaps the kids, and steals the diamond so he can charge his giant robot in order to destroy Hollywood, and use his super gun to lift the entire city off the freaking ground to have it go sent into space. After finding Lucy, Gru patches things up with Drew. They work together to come rescue the kids. And this is like the third time that the kids have to be rescued. It wasn't as egregious in 2, but I understand it had to happen in the first movie, but I really don't want to see like, another moment where the parents got to go out their way to save these kids. And it's like, oh God, can we just not anymore? So Lucy rescues the girls while Drew infiltrates the giant robot, destroys the power source to keep Balthazar from continually destroying this Hollywood, while Drew goes one-on-one in a dance fight with Balthazar. Utilizing Balthazar's own keytar, he vaporizes his clothes, leaving him naked this time, for the AVL to come pick him up and arrest him. Drew and Lucy are reinstated to the AVL. This whole thing with the minions getting like, because they miss going back to villainy, so most of them decide to leave Gru to go their own way. They end up getting arrested and they end up escaping prison, so they reconvene to help destroy the giant bubblegum from lifting the city. Anyway, I just have to because I just gotta get that part out the way, because there's too many like subplots, in my opinion, for this film. I kind of wish they get stuck with the main villain and the twin brother plots, and the Lucy connecting with the daughters as like a new mother. 3 plots, that's all you need. The unicorn thing and the minions in prison thing could have been left out. Do not need them. But I guess at the very least, when it comes to the minions, they feel, I guess the writers feel like they gotta do something. They're the bulk of the reason why these films are making as much money for Illumination as they are. So they gotta have them do something. But I don't know, they could have done so many other things. But they, in this whole prison thing, seems so pointless. Just to have them to break up and just to come back. But they end up deciding to work with Drew, who's become a little bit of a better villain now after hanging with Gru, which has only been like a day or so. So now all of a sudden he's I want to say a better villain, but now he seems a little bit more has some bit of experience now. So after having a nice family dinner, the minions go with Drew in order to pull off more villainy heists and then Gru and Lucy to give him a 5-minute head start as they chase after him as their quote-unquote arch nemesis. And that's Despicable Me 3. It's still a pretty fun movie. Aside from the too many subplots, I think that's my biggest criticism. But I love Balthazar Brat as a villain. I think Despicable Me films, not the Minions, the Despicable Me films do an impressive legwork in making pretty dang good villains. Very funny ones too. And each one standing out for different reasons. I would love for like a final Despicable Me film, some kind of Legion of Doom style villain team up from all the villains from the past Despicable Me films, team up to take out Lucy and Gru and the family. That is something I really would love to see. But anyway, let me know in the comments below what you think of Despicable Me 3. All the good, the bad, the ugly, all that stuff. And I will see you all for the next one. Peace.